Hi, Geminis. It's me, your fave. I'm here to do a couple of individual messages. I've already done like one or two readings before y'all, so I want to go ahead and jump in with y'all so I can get the ball rolling. I'm off today. I had a little extra time, so I wanted to make sure I definitely got this in. Okay. Like, share, subscribe. My name is Brittany, just in case from the beginning. I mean, just in case if you're new here, if you're accustomed to being here, welcome back. You already know how this goes. Like, share, subscribe, drop down below in the description box for anything that you might need. Okay. Um, the discount code is there. I do personal readings. I can also my link is also there and my discount code is there for my personal readings. Okay. And excuse me if I seem a little like mentally distracted. Something kind of came up in between your readings that kind of threw me off mentally, so I'm just trying to lock back in. So forgive me, okay, if I seem a little mentally all over the place. And if I have to check my phone, because I'm kind of checking up on something that I got going on. Anyway, let's jump in with the oracles. What do we have going on for Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus? Nothing I say here is meant to trigger you or confuse you at any moment. If that happens, please turn this video off. Maybe this isn't the time for messages. Maybe I'm not the reader for you, or maybe this isn't the video for you. Okay, give me something for Gemini's, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. But God, the great I am. It's the first card out. I typically really like that card. I love when I see it, honestly. You have the Nipsey Hussle card. You have Sade. I feel like something else flipped over. No? Okay. Give me one more card. Still Magnolias. All right. So again, we have God, but God. We have Nipsey Hussle. We have Sade. And we have the great Still Magnolias. Okay, which is a pretty good movie. Honestly, all of this makes me feel like immediately there's nothing too big for you. There's nothing that God can't handle, and there's nothing that you can't overcome and get over. Okay, let's start there. Um, the Nipsey Hussle card next to the Sade card makes me feel like there are great things to do with your voice. Both of them have are artists. Both of them have really good voices, and both of them always had a really good message, right? Every time I listen to Sade, it's something about love, but it's also like very meaningful. Every time I turn on Nipsey Hussle, it's very meaningful, but it's about self elevation, self reliance, being a better self, pouring into your community, making your community a better community. It's about Black people. It's about really coming together and like really bossing your life up, right? The divine masculine is on this card. It says divine masculine, God will rise, victory lap, self-made, hustle and motivate, the grind, and two times up. Okay. You also have the lead here in this Sade card, pride, soul, your love is king, contemporary, natural beauty, and no ordinary love. The fact that you have God here twice lets me know that you should definitely be more in your spiritual bag. You could already be getting more off into your spiritual bag. Okay, but this is a good time to also remember and focus on again that God is in all things, and there's nothing too big or too lavish for God to handle or to help you overcome. Okay. But then you also have divine masculine and you have the lead here with the Sade card, which makes me feel like Gemini, this is a good time for you to start tapping more a little bit into your leadership, really using your voice. Like I said, y'all are ruled by Mercury. Okay, so again, your voice, your message, how you communicate. Okay, self-made is here. All right, so this is a good time, again, like I said, for you to really start pushing forward with some things. Okay. What is it that you want to do? What is it that's your message? What is your truth? What do you want to put out into the world? Okay. And how is it that you can lean on your divine team, on your spiritual court to ensure and make sure that these things are really coming to life for you? This is a good time for that. Still Magnolias, it said just like family, kind, sad times, happy times, cherish, illness, motherhood, blush, and bashful. Okay, there's about 5 women in this card, or 6 women here. Okay, they all were very connected with each other. Okay, so this makes me feel like also as you do what you do and as you get into the driver's seat and as you lead your life and lead yourself to the promised land, as you go far and really take pride in who you are. as you up your hustle. I don't know a Gemini that don't have a good 5 or 6 hustles, right? So as you up your hustle, as you grind, as you motivate yourself, um, as you advocate for yourself, as you advocate for the things that matter to you, remember that for one, God's plan, right? Being a vessel for what God wants you to do, what your divine team wants you to do, but also being the leader in that, and also taking the good times with the bad times. Okay, this is about learning how to cherish those moments, cherish the people who feel like family, and surround yourself and socialize with people who are like-minded people. Okay, who also are grinding, who are also hustling, who are also, on a marathon to try to, get this money up or to grind, who are also advocating for something. Maybe again, you're in a need to get into a certain community to where you can advocate properly. Sometimes you can want to advocate for things, but you might be surrounded by people who don't believe in what you believe in, right? How well does that work? How well can you be the leader of the band? Right, your love is king. You have two God cards, right? And your love is king here. So this is also about understanding that again, God's grace in your life can be really, really prominent. God can really take you far. God's love is king. God is the king, the alpha, the omega, look, so on and so forth. If you know, you know. Okay. But that doesn't mean that, your hustle won't come with struggle, with strife. That don't mean that you won't have any sad times, right? How well can you take the happy times with the sad times? Okay, on your journey to wherever you're going, on this journey towards your victory lap. Okay, if it's a marathon and you in the lead, okay, well, it seems like you about to hit a victory lap. Maybe you're about to take a marathon, you know what I'm saying, and really start hitting the ground running, but maybe you feel like there's some things that you really can't accomplish. The great I am, God will rise, but God. Okay. This is also to me talking about making sure that God is the head, or that whoever you pray to is the head of your life. Making sure that they are the head of your life, making sure that you are doing the divine's will, the divine's plan. Okay. Whatever the divine's purpose is for your life, and implementing that. Sometimes what we think we should be doing with our lives isn't in alignment with what the divine feels like we should be doing. It's just like that phrase and that term, you make plans and God laughs. We make plans and God laughs, right? It's kind of one of those things. Bottom of the deck, again, you have coming to America, kings and queens, discovering marriage, entourage, wealth, okay, discovery, sowing oats, love, generation, empire. It's a good time to start sowing your oats. It's a good time to start investing in things. It's a good time to really start putting yourself out there. A good time to really start advocating for what it is that you want, what it is that you believe in. Because it's time to really start building the empire that you want for yourself. The one card that did fall out is home. I'll take it, which is again about security, right? It's about security. It's about feeling secure in yourself, right? Maybe even getting a new home or moving into a new home. But this also is about security overall. Being around people who feel like home, feeling comfortable and feeling like home within your own self, within your own energy, feeling confident, feeling secure in yourself, understanding that doors are opening. What does security look like for you? Are you secure in yourself? Are you secure in who you are? Are you secure in where you're going? Are you secure in, where you are right now? Ghost lands also fell out. I wasn't really intentionally shuffling, but again, I'll take it. Because the ghost lands card talks about, not being too far into the future, but not being too far in the past. For those of you like, right, hustle and motivate, you taking the lead, you understanding that you are the leader of the band, you using your voice, you're opening up, you're advocating for things, right? You could want a particular life for yourself. You could want this entourage, sowing oats, wealth, luxury, king of Zamunda kind of vibe, right? But then you could be too stuck in the future. Sometimes you can kind of escape to a future that's not promised to you, right? Just be mindful of that. Sometimes it can happen like that, where again you thinking about how good it's gonna get when you get 6 figures, and when you get the house and the life and the marriage and the this, and how amazing things are gonna be, but none of that is promised to you. Just like the past has already came and went. You can sit there and think about the past and what had happened, and who you once was and how things once were, or who did you bad like this and who did this and who did that, and all of the times people slighted you. Or you can think about the right now. You can't change nothing about the past. What you did do, what you didn't do, what people done did to you, what they done said to you, all the mistakes you done made. You can't go back and fix that at all. All you really can do is focus on the right now. All you really can do is focus on what's directly in front of you. All you really can do is focus on the present and putting down those stepping stones in the present to actually forge a path towards your future. Okay, so the ghost lens is saying, how well can you stay right here, right now in the present? You can't think about, oh, when I finally get all of the money and I finally get financially secure and I finally get six figures in the bank and I finally get that new home and I finally get this but you don't have that right now. So how can you find security in the right now? How are you feeling secure in what you have right now in this moment? Who makes you feel at home? How can you feel at home within yourself? Yeah, you might want a new home, but how can you find appreciation for the home that you have right now? Yeah, you might, saying, not feel the most financially secure, but how can you find appreciation for the money that you have right now until you get to where you're trying to go? Escaping into the future when it's not promised is not promised to you. It actually hurts you because you're not even focusing on doing what you need to do right now to ensure that that's the future that you want and that you bring into your life. Just like focusing on the past robs you of the present to be able to create a better future for yourself. All you really can do is stay right here in the right now and ask yourself from that standpoint, how are you changing? How are you evolving? How are you mending and working through things to get to where you'd like to be in the future? Or are you just escaping your present moment into the future? You don't even want to think about how broke you is and how your stomach hurt. You just gonna fantasize about when you finally get to a point where you can eat lobster and wagyu steak every night. And it's like, yeah, you can fantasize about all that, but unless you really start putting your money where your mouth is to make it happen, it'll just be a fantasy. It'll just be an idea. It'll just be a thought. It'll just be a picture on a vision board. It won't really be a reality. You have to actually make it a reality. And you do that by staying right here, right now, in the moment, taking charge of your life, taking the lead in your life, having some pride in your life. Okay? While grinding, hustling, advocating for what you want, making yourself and turning yourself into the very being that you want to be, and understanding that there's nothing too big or too big or too strong for God to handle. There's never a wish, a prayer, a hope, a manifestation, or an intention that God can't bring into your life. But faith without works is dead. Fantasy without action is just a dream deferred. Fantasy without action is just a dream deferred. Fantasy without action is just a dream deferred. So how are you hustling? How are you advocating for yourself? How are you standing up for yourself? How are you reminding yourself you're the leader of the band, that you're the leader of the pack, and that you are in the driver's seat, you are in charge of what's going on with your life. Maybe you got the God part down, but maybe you struggle with taking the good times with the bad times and cherishing both of them because that's what really matters. Yeah, it might come with a little struggle. Yeah, it might come with a little strife. Yeah, it might come with a little headache and a little heartache, but that's what make life life. How can you still be secure even in the unsecure moments? How can you find safety even in the unsafe moments? How can you weather the storm in the present instead of escaping to the future? To say, oh, everything in my life will be so amazing once I get to this point of my life. Yeah, that's fine, but what are you doing to ensure that once you get to that point of your life, everything is everything? Or are you just gonna keep telling yourself once you get to that point of your life, once you get to that point of your life, well, once I get six figures, once I get six figures, once I get all the money, once I get all the money, once I get rich and I get big and I get big and I get rich. But then how are you doing that? Are you just fantasizing? Going to work every day ain't enough. You gotta save your ducats. You gotta save your coins. You saving your coins ain't enough. You gotta figure out what you can invest it in so you can make more money. Investing in it ain't enough. You gotta learn marketing so people can buy into what you're trying to invest in. Come on now. Come on now. So stay very focused in the present. Doors are trying to open for you, Gemini. But it's about how well you can stay in the present. And it's about how well you can take the good with the bad. Understanding that again, God is on your side. But you have to know that. You have to understand that. You have to remember that. So let's see. Give me some tarot on the matter. What does tarot have to say? King of Cups is reversed. Four of Swords. Knave of Wands. Now is not the time to be allowing your emotions to run you. Now is not the time to be allowing your emotions to run you. I mean, that's not to say that you can't indulge in them, right? Process as you need to process. Process your frustrations. Process the sad times, how they need to be processed. You know what I'm saying? Process the hurt, the grief as it needs to be processed. You know, separate yourself, get you some rest if you need to. Remember that, okay? Again, you can't just hustle your way out of poverty. You need to be able to rest too. You need to be able to relax as well. But, allow yourself to build upon that fire. For some of you, you could be feeling excited towards something, feeling like you're ready to hit the ground running, feeling like, you're kind of feeding your fire on something until it really grows into a blaze, something that's taking a new interest of you. And that's good. You could maybe come up into a new interest that could maybe be a new hustle and a new side gig. That's cool too. But making sure that you're resting and making sure that you're processing the emotion that comes with things. Okay. That could also help with the escapism. If you feel like you have escapism problems, it could be because there's something going on in your immediate reality that you're not addressing. Or again, if it's past stuff, because typically I feel like when people escape to the future, they be trying to escape past present stuff. And when people be stuck in the past, it be because they still can't escape the past, so it's robbing them of their present and their future. Okay, but escapism tendencies isn't going to help. Being an escapist isn't going to help. So make sure you're acknowledging the emotions, acknowledging what you feel, acknowledging your feelings. Okay, resting, getting some rest, really taking some time for yourself, but then making sure that you're like balancing that out with how you're hustling and how you're moving and building the security for yourself. Okay. The but God also makes me feel like, and the home card also makes me feel like you don't have to do too much. This four of swords makes me feel like you don't have to work 50 of them different jobs and pick up all type of hours in order to get the life that you need to live for yourself. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to work yourself into the ground. Making sure that you actually take some time to rest and to check in with yourself emotionally, Gemini. I feel like that's going to be really big right now at this time. Hanging out with your family, allowing your family and cherishing the moments with your family, but allowing your family to also help you through the trying times and the sad times. They want to be there with you to celebrate in your good times, but also allow your family to be there for you in your trying times and your sad times. Because you could feel like things aren't really picking up the momentum that you like right now. It could feel like I'm doing a lot of running in this marathon, but I'm still waiting to get to the victory lap. You know what I'm saying? Kind of vibe. Yeah, the Knight of Wands, right? So again, it's like you're letting something build, or you need to be letting something build. Let the fire kind of build slowly and organically when it comes to something. And it will. It absolutely will. But you need to be resting and you need to be checking in with yourself. If you working real hard and you investing and you hustling and something happens, God forbid, right? But something happens, it's okay to be frustrated. It's okay to be annoyed. It's okay to be, disappointed about something. That's probably why I had to kind of go through whatever I went through in between videos, right? That was like, because I kind of saw something that kind of threw me off mentally and it kind of put me in a funk. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, I don't want to be put in a funk. I'm not going to let the devil come in. Hey, hello? I'm not going to let the devil come in and ruin what I was doing. I was on a good trajectory. I'm in the middle of readings and getting content out right now. I'm not gonna let this one thing stop me or block me. You know what I'm saying? Even though it is frustrating. You know what I'm saying? Like it is. But again, I can't let that stop me or block me. I have to keep going. I have to keep letting the momentum build. I have to keep focusing. You know what I'm saying? But it's okay to also acknowledge, just like I'm acknowledging. But that's really frustrating. That's really frustrating. That's really annoying for me. It's the issue when you don't address it. And then now you still feel annoyed, but now you just trying not to look at it. You feel annoyed, but you just smoking and drinking it away. And you know what I'm saying? You over here doing other shit. Now you didn't escape to the future. And you like, but see, because I just, I won't have to deal with this once I get to this point in my life. It's like, that's not going to help you. You still frustrated right now, though. You still at this point of your life, though. You're not in that future form of yourself, that future vision. This is a current vision. Your reality right now is exactly what you're living. So how well can we sit in that instead of escape and run from that? How well can we hustle and motivate and remind ourselves that again, we are the lead of our lives and we are the one, you know what I'm saying, needing to take pride in how we moving to really bring something differently to life, to advocate for ourselves, to really understand that, this is a self-made situation. Who do you want to be? And what necessary steps are you taking right now in the present to get there? And to know that again, there's nothing too big or too small for God. Whatever you want to do, whoever you want to be, however you want to be that, however you want to show up like that is completely on you. It just take hard work and prayer and hard work, some rest and some emotional regulation on times where shit get a little frustrating and annoying. At the end of the day, regardless of what's going on my end with the thing that irritated me, like before I started this, I kind of had to remind myself, whatever happens, it's gonna happen, and it's gonna happen, and I'm gonna be fine regardless. God got me regardless, even though it's frustrating, even though it's annoying. Because I wanted to do that. I could use the extra money. I could use the extra bag. But I mean, I can't let it frustrate me and annoy me. What is that gonna do? Just fuck up my day, fuck up my trajectory, fuck up what I'm doing. I'm hustling right now. You see, I'm in here talking to y'all. I ain't got time for the devil to try to come throw me off, and then now my mind gone, and I'm frustrated, and I'm annoyed. You know what I'm saying? So be wary of that too. Maybe some of you are too in your emotions. Maybe some of you aren't in the emotions enough. Make sure you're having a balance. It's okay to be frustrated. It's okay to admit to yourself that shit was really frustrating and annoying. Like I'm really blowed by that. But some of you are a little too into it, perhaps, where it's like, nah, the day just ruined, and I'm annoyed and I'm frustrated and whatever. I'm just finna go take a nap. No, don't let that bother you. Don't let that irritate you. Keep going, keep grinding, keep hustling. You know what I'm saying? Let that roll off your back again. Yeah, there's gonna be some frustrating times. Yeah, it's gonna be some fun times too. But everything is gonna work out the way that it needs to work out. Give me one more card. Oh yeah, 21 minutes. Give me one more card. Oh, that was like 5. Yeah, the temperance card. Be patient with yourself. Be patient with yourself and stay balanced. Okay, don't sway too far to one side or the other. Like I said, it ain't gotta be that you're emotionally constipated and you're not addressing your frustrations and your inner emotions because you're just trying to be tough and be strong and just power through it. But you also don't have to sit here and wallow and drown in them either, where it's like, oh my God, poor me, what was me, what about me, poor old little me. Like, find a balance and be patient with yourself. Again, it's a marathon. Pace yourself. This is not a sprint. Okay? The victory that will come, but it's not a sprint, it's a marathon, which means what? Self-preservation. That means pacing yourself. That means avoiding burnout. So that means resting in between grinding. That means making sure that you're actually checking in with yourself emotionally. Hustle and prayer. Hustle and prayer. Prayer and hustle will work every time. Checking in with yourself emotionally, mentally resting yourself, and being patient on your journey. Security will come. People who make you feel at home, feeling at home with yourself, getting a new home, feeling secure just in your finances, feeling safe just in your own environment, all of these things will come. Everything that you envision for yourself when you think about your future will happen, Gemini. You just have to stay grounded right now in the present to make sure you're bringing it to life. Because without it, life would just start passing you by. Okay? That has been your reading, God. Thank you for tuning in. If you've gotten to this far, I really appreciate it. Like, share, subscribe, leave me some thumbs up and some comments if this resonated. And yeah, my name is B, just in case you forgot from the beginning of this. Check down below in the description box, find me on my other platforms, book a personal reading, use a discount code if you're interested. Or, we can just keep hanging it out and kicking it over here. I'm totally fine with that too. Again, until next time, I'll see you guys over on the next video. And take care. Bye.